What up, friends? It's hard to stay motivated when you're a creative, be it a painter, a writer, a musician, whatever the case may be. So today I'm just going to cover 10 quick tips that will basically apply to anyone in the creative field. Specifically, we'll talk about music because that's what I do. Tip number 1, aspire. Find somebody that you can relate to in your creative field. It could be another YouTuber, another musician, anybody that you draw inspiration from. There's so much great content out there. There's so much to be inspired by. I am inspired by my fellow musicians. A couple of my favorite YouTube channels, John Mayer, I think is absolutely fantastic, and his channels just exploded over the last few years. Roman Hentz, his work is absolutely incredible, beautiful. Every time I watch one of the videos, I'm so inspired. So go out there, consume content, get inspired. You'll be amazed at how much that helps with the creative process and staying motivated. 2, diversify. If you're creative, don't rely on one stream of income. It's going to be extremely difficult if you do, particularly as a musician. So ways that you can diversify, obviously there's not a lot of money that's coming in through streaming services like Spotify, Apple Music. So I still do Twitch. There's not a ton of money that comes in through there, but there is some income that comes through there. You could write library music, might not be a whole lot, another stream of income. Bandcamp is absolutely fantastic. They genuinely care about the artists. It's one of the best places that you can grow your fan base, and people almost always pay more than what the item is that you've put it on sale for. Patreon is another thing that some people have success. There's all kinds of different platforms, merchandise, live shows, ad revenue from YouTube. I'm not there yet, but I'm hoping that eventually I'll be able to monetize this channel and get some ad revenue. It might not seem like a lot, but if you spread it all out and add it all up, it starts to turn into better numbers. If you look at each of those individually, it can be discouraging, but collectively they can add up. Teaching is another fantastic way to earn money as a musician, something I've done for many years, and I also really enjoy it. 3, learn. Never stop learning. I am always on learn, whether it's from another YouTube channel, whether it's learning more about whatever DAW that I'm using, whether it's Logic or Ableton, whether it's learning a particular technique and how to be a better composer, a better piano player, a better songwriter, a better producer, a better mixer. Always be in learn mode. YouTube is a fantastic resource for learning all kinds of stuff. There's really nothing that you can't learn about these days, so there's really no excuse other than you just have to put the time into doing it. Number 4, experiment. There's nothing wrong with staying in your sandbox, but it's good to get out there and experiment, try different techniques. If you're a musician, try some different genres, particularly if you're a composer. If you listen to the greatest film composers, James Newton Howard, Hans Zimmer, Ennio Morricone, Carlos Rafael Rivera, Thomas Newman. These are all composers that are never going to be just staying to one genre of music. Particularly if you're focused on film music, production music, it's great to have your niche and to have something that you're really good at and you're really confident with. But genre switching, I highly encourage. Try some different stuff. You never know what you might come up with, and you might find success in a particular genre that you never thought was possible. So don't be afraid to experiment, try different things. I think there's way too much out there in terms of people copying each other's styles. There's nothing wrong with drawing inspiration like we talked about, but find your own path, create your own way, mix genres together, come up with some crazy ideas. Embrace. There's so much talk about AI these days and how it's ruining everything, destroying the world, Amazon robots taking over the world. They're probably right. It probably will be the end of the world, but I'm not going to worry about that because there's nothing I can do about it. So embrace tech. Whatever new tech that comes, you're not going to be able to fight it. So find out a way that you can utilize it and use it to your advantage. There's all kinds of new tools that are out there that are pretty amazing, that can help you in your journey to become a better creative, to become a better musician. So try not to fear the unknown, try to embrace it, whether it be mastering tools, whether it be new sample libraries, amp modeling. I mean, I'm all about the tech. I'm all into software. Most of the stuff that I use is software based. Every time Logic comes out with a new update, there's some kind of new AI tech tool. Some of them are not useful. Some of them might surprisingly be useful. So embrace change. Collaboration. That's something that I've really been focusing on very, very recently. Collaborating either as a producer or mixer with other artists. I'm collaborating with other singers, other musicians, other composers, reaching out to videographers all the time. Always spending a great deal of time looking for people to collaborate with and to create great things. Music should not be produced in a vacuum. I love working on my own in this studio, which is in the basement of my house, and I could bury myself down here for hours at a time and I can enjoy it. But anytime I take an idea and I throw it out to somebody else and I get it back, I'm always blown away by something else. It's just a different perspective. There's something else that they heard that I didn't hear. They've added something that wasn't there. They've only made it better. So I can't emphasize the importance of collaboration, especially in the music industry. Build. One fan at a time, one person at a time. Make one song, reach one person, get that person to keep coming back. Build your communities. Build your communities on Instagram, on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, wherever your fans are and wherever you post content. Build your fan base. Could be mailing lists, could be Patreon, it could be Discord. There's so many resources, there's so many ways of doing it, but one way or another you have to build your community. They will do anything for you if you keep coming back, if you keep showing up, if you keep giving them things to be excited about, if you keep producing good content, they'll keep coming back. Persevere. You've probably heard a gazillion times that being a musician, being in this industry is a marathon. It is not a sprint. I've been producing music in excess of 30 years. I've had some success, some big moments. I've had a lot of moments where there was nothing happening whatsoever. It's just one foot in front of the other. You got to keep your head down. You got to keep doing it. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it and everybody would be successful at it. Music is one of the hardest professions out there in this current state in 2024 to make a living at. You gotta love it, but you gotta put one foot in front of the other. The ones that get the jobs are the ones that put in the work. Talent gets you so far. Hard work, perseverance gets you the rest of the way. In a time where there's so much negativity in the world, there's so much going on. The media wants you to think that the world is ending at any time. Everything's bad, everything's horrible. We're constantly fed negativity. I'd say physical activity is a huge, huge thing. For me, when I'm not exercising, when I'm not eating right, when I'm not taking care of myself, I'm basically useless to everyone. Mental and physical health, they go hand in hand. It's extremely important. There are high burnout rates in this profession, in creative fields, in a lot of different professions. People get burned out very easily. Take care of yourself. Mental, physical health, extremely important. Maybe my best advice, and this goes from some that have left comments in my YouTube channel. Sometimes I read in other YouTube channels. Sometimes these comments show up on my Twitch streams. I read these comments on Instagram, wherever. It's so easy to be negative and to spread negativity and to tear other people down. So my last bit of advice is behave. If you want to work in an industry as competitive as this one is, you're never going to get the job if you're preaching negativity, if you're cutting other people down. Oftentimes comments on social media are just overly negative and sometimes just downright nasty. I've said it before, I'll say it again. If it's the difference between me and another person, and the other person is way more talented, way more experienced, writes better music, is better looking, but they're a jerk, and I'm the nice guy, guess what? I'm gonna be the one that gets the job. People don't want to work with difficult people. Nobody wants to work with someone who is difficult, negative, nasty, condescending. You're never going to get anywhere in this industry or any industry. So, last bit of advice is behave. Lots of exciting things coming up, my friends. Song collaborations with my good friend Luna Keller, Lisa Cuthbert. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stay safe out there, friends. Cheers.